afternoon, folks. I'm on the first half of play-by-play, so I'll be kicking it off for us. Again, we're at Poker Knot. No, we're at historic Clint Leitner Field. I don't see the historic sign. I don't know who Clint Leitner is, but again, it's historic Clint Leitner Field out here in Garden City, Kansas, as the Alpine Cowboys play against the Garden City Wind here in Game 2 of the series. Again, I'm Ryan Weyl, joined by Roen Elbert. Rowan, yesterday was a 9-2 win. We're coming off of a, 12-hour bus ride, an extended road trip. What are we expecting today?
I'm expecting a pitching duel. The Cowboys have a great arm, and Parker Wakeman coming out today to start. Wakeman, a 4.2 ERA, one of technically 6 Cowboy All-Stars, so I'm expecting Wakeman to play a big factor in the outcome of tonight's contest. Also, for Garden City, they go to Zach Westbrook, a 6.7 ERA for him, which again, that's not as great, but at the same time, Westbrook has had starts here and there where he's looked really solid for the Wind.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see here. It looks like we can pull up the pitching stats. Again, Wakeman, an all-star for your Alpine Cowboys. 6 games, 6 starts, 35 innings pitched for Wakeman. In those 35 innings, he's given up 28 hits, 28 walks, and has a 4.29 ERA. So when we talk about whip, Rowan, he's got a good-looking whip. It's around a 1.5, but the ERA is even better. One of the best pitchers on our staff, one of our best options. And again, the Garden City Wind trotting out. Rowan, remind me of this guy's name.
This is going to be Zach Westbrook.
I have. That's why I'm looking at fielding stats. Zach Westbrook with that 6.7 ERA against 6 starts. Both of them have exactly 6 starts. Zach Westbrook has thrown one more inning. He's given up a bunch more hits than Parker Wakeman at 41. Again, Wakeman was sub 30 on the hit margin with 35 innings pitched. He's also given up less walks than Wakeman, so less free passes, but he runs into more bats. Run.
Yeah, exactly. And again, walks are a killer for the Cowboys. We've seen it time and time again where they'll allow free passes left and right. I'll never forget the 4th of July game. In a 7-inning game, they walked 10 batters, and that's just not going to be good for the staff. If Wakeman can limit the walks, I've said it time and time again, this guy's borderline one of the best pitchers in this league. I wouldn't even say that. He's an all-star. He is one of the best pitchers in this league.
Absolutely.
But if he can limit the walks, he is unreal.
And looking at Westbrook as well, he's coming off of an outing where he he pitched 4 innings, giving up 5 earned runs in those 4 innings. Again, that was against Tucson. That was the game where they got shelled against the leading program in the Mountain South Division in the Tucson Saguaros.
Yeah, again, the Wind, that was a humbling moment for them. They were going through all of their opponents in the Mountain North. It was a cakewalk for them. They haven't even played Blackwell yet, which is pretty crazy. But they've gone through North Platte, they've gone through Kansas City, Trinidad, but then they ran to Tucson, the big dogs, the Mountain South. It just didn't go their way. I think Westbrook is a very solid arm for them, and I think it will be an interesting matchup because it's a bounce back opportunity for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll try and fly through this Cowboy starting lineup here. Batting first in our order is Sean Becker. Sean Becker tied, as you can see here, with the best batting average on the team at a 3.64 average. Tied up with James Procish, who's batting in the 3 spot, splitting them up. Kyle Rodriguez, that 3.36 average for K-Rod. Batting third or second in the order again, the 4 spot, Brandon Andrews, the cleanup hitter, a natural spot for Andrews, who's shown some home run power as of late. Aaron Izquierdo will bat 5th with that 3.57 average. Again, the 3rd best on the team here for Aaron Izquierdo. Hunter Damon, a new Alpine Cowboy with a 3.3 average. Again, a very small sample size for Hunter Damon.
Yeah, again, Damon, he looked very good yesterday. 2 for 2 with a sac fly. I was very impressed by his performance, but it's now time for the national anthem.
We'll be right back. Again, it's time for baseball here. Let's play ball out here in Kansas. The Garden City Wind, again, playing host to your Alpine Cowboys. Right now, a 30-4 record on the season for the Wind. They are absolutely rolling through the Mountain South Division as they beat us 9-2 yesterday. But again, we came off the bus yesterday. We saw some of their best options. We saw all of their best bullpen options. So I think there's opportunity afoot today.
There absolutely is, but these Wind pitchers have also proven, and this is more so for tomorrow, especially the bullpen guys, that really they only need one day of rest, especially the top guys like Grant Garza, Lance Koch that we saw. But them going to Westbrook, the key for the Cowboys, and really for every start for that matter, but especially here where the bullpen may be a little weaker for Garden City, the key to the game, get to the starter early, do it as early as you can, especially for a guy like Westbrook who doesn't have as many free passes to his name. It's huge to get to him now.
Yeah, absolutely. Get to him early. Again, we're at the Clint Leitner Field with that turf infield, the real mound, the real outfield. If you're looking through the lineup again, we left off with Hunter Damon, the new Cowboy, batting in the 6th spot with the 3.33 average. The 7th spot is made up with John Tuttle, the catcher, and the battery partner with the 8th spot, Parker Wakeman, as Trevor Tripoli bats in that 9 spot or the pseudo leadoff position. Again, Wind warming up out here in their white uniforms, their LA Dodger looking uniforms, Rowan.
Yeah. I do want to go back to that pseudo leadoff. This is the first time the Cowboys have gone to the pseudo leadoff guy. It's been a while. Honestly, it may be since early June. That may have been the last time they gone pseudo leadoff. And usually that was Sean Becker, but then they go to Trevor Tripoli. Now Sean Becker will lead us off here
as he steps in. Today we're on YouTube and on Big Ben Radio, trying that out for the first time. Again, we were forced on YouTube yesterday as Big Ben Radio had some issues. And today we decided to go with both of them. Again, we're on YouTube, Big Ben Radio locally in Alpine, 98.7 FM, 1240 AM. We'll try and Taylor make the broadcast both ways as Sean Becker steps in again, taking over that leadoff spot just a few days ago. We had 2 leadoff guys get called up in Tyler Young and Xavier Croxton to the Frontier and Pioneer League. Then we had a leadoff guy get hurt. Well, I guess that happened first.
Yeah, AJ's injury did happen first, but with the way Becker's been playing, like if you look at the stats right now for Sean Becker, a 364 average, 504 on base, 19 RBIs. Honestly, Becker is playing right now like he might be next.
Yeah, and I think he cemented his role in this leadoff spot as he steps in. It's a righty on righty matchup. First pitch is a strike found on the outer half of the plate, 0-1. We sound good, Rowan, over at Big Ben Radio. Again, Becker steps back in. Cowboys in red today. Red jerseys, black hats, black accessories as this misses well away. Now 1-1 the count to Becker out of Indiana, the Hoosier from Evansville. On the mound.
It's your roommate, too.
Yeah, he's my roommate right now. Zach Westbrook, one of 4 roommates. Only the Pecos League, Rowan, as this comes for a strike on the outside. Now 1-2.
My roommate's the skipper, Lance Myers. Also in there with Jesus Rosario and Armando Ceballo.
As Becker steps back in. Right-handed Sean Becker. The pitch. He lays off an outside pitch in the dirt. Looked like the slurve. Now 2-2. Again, this is Zach Westbrook on the mound with the 6.7 ERA. Runs into some hits, but a very low walk rate for his 36 innings he's thrown this year. Garden City again in all white. The 2-2. Becker lifts this. It's a fly ball heading for the short porch in right field, but the ballpark should hold it, and it does. Becker flies out to right, 1 away here in the top of the first inning. Out in right field for the Wind is Jason Rooks, currently on a 31-game hit streak.
Yeah, 31-game hit streak. That is a Garden City Wind record right there. Again, he's having an unreal season. Played in the Atlantic League last year with the Lexington Legends. He's been very good.
And we will again try and end that hit streak here today. Going to be tough as stepping in is the 2 spot. Kyle Rodriguez out of Central Washington as he takes a strike on the inside. 0-1. Another one of my roommates here on this road trip. K-Rod was one of many Central Washington products. Brady Herai came to the Cowboys first. He spread the news amongst the team, and Trevor Tripoli, Kyle Rodriguez, who fouled this one off to move to 0-2, and Jacob Bradley followed suit.
Which is why I always wonder who's next for Central Washington, especially if Tripoli's helping out with the program, Hirai's helping out still. There will be guys down the line, I feel like, that want to come play for the Alpine Cowboys.
We need to watch some Wildcat games, Rowan.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to the Wildcat as this is grounded towards the shortstop. He collects, fires across in time, 2 down. 2 up, 2 down. Now James Procish. We interviewed James Procish for the podcast Cowboy Up earlier today. That will be up tomorrow. One of 2 Cowboys we've done this season. We have admittedly been a little slow on our roll this year.
Oh, yeah. And it's not entirely our fault. I mean, our last guest got called up about 5 minutes before he was going to do the interview.
Yeah.
That being Josh Rego.
Here's the pitch from Westbrook. Most likely not akin to Russell as this misses for a ball low and inside 1-0.
And the same thing happened last year with now a Frontier League All-Star, Tommy Kretzler.
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to do it with Kretzler before he got called up. He had some power numbers as this misses well away. A hitter's count right now for James Procish, the all-time Pecos League hit leader, the all-time Pecos League appearance leader, who's been in the league since 2017. He steps in. Third baseman on the day for Alpine. Fouls this one off, 2-1. The Garden City Wind defensive look is as follows. Again, the pitcher, Zach Westbrook. Dominic Enbody catching for the Wind. Robert Morissetti at first base. Pierce Kahn at second. The shortstop, Caleb Skoll in the third baseman. Andrew Broutman in left. Adam Purdy, Jacob Telemonte in center. And Jason Rooks in right field. Westbrook, again, the 2-1 pitch with 2 down to James Procish. This is just away. Now 3-1 the count. We have news on who the umpire crew is today.
Oh, really?
Thanks to the broadcaster for the Garden City Wind. That's Joey Dean, right?
Oh, yeah, Joey Dean.
The plate umpire is Jonathan Padilla. As Procish takes the strike on the inside, now 3-2. Andrew Carriaga is in the field, and Chris Saldana is in the field. One of these guys is a local Garden City guy. The other 2 Pecos League umpires coming from out of town. As the 3-2 comes, belted towards the right side. That's headed for the wall in deep center field, and it's grabbed for the out. 3 up, 3 down on contact. Again, we figured this guy would run into some contact, but it found gloves here in the first. Roan, we'll send it to a quick commercial break. We'll be back in a moment here on Big Ben Radio or on YouTube as folks can watch the live stream. We'll be back. Again, Parker Wakeman on the mound here for your Alpine Cowboys. It feels and sounds heavy out of the hand of Wakeman as John Tuttle catches his warm-up pitch. Wakeman with that 4, just north of 4 ERA, sitting at an even 28 hits, 28 walks, and 35 innings pitched for your Alpine Cowboys. He steps on the mound, chose the black hats, black belts with the red jerseys. As Caleb Skold, the Lone Star Conference, University of Texas Permian Basin graduate, steps in the batter's box. You know, as this is professional baseball, you lose eligibility whenever you enter and play in the Pecos League. So I can't confirm he's a graduate. I'm just guessing as this misses just low 1-0.
Yeah, because we see guys all the time. Look at Jaden Terrace, who went without a year at Michigan State to go play for the Pecos Bills. I mean, it's definitely possible.
It's the 1-0, sails high and inside. Quick with the count 2-0 to the shortstop, number 22. Probably a 5'10" right-hander. Weighs maybe a $170. Skold takes this one low and inside, 3-0.
I think I'm a $180, $190. I might be.
Man, we've got a good amount of people here today, too. The one thing I noticed about Garden City is that of the Pecos League towns, when you're walking around town, it's the only place where I see wind gear casually around town.
Outside of Alpine, yes.
Yeah, Alpine definitely. But Garden City has folks that support the team all around town. I rode the bike by the downtown area. There was a shop in the middle of the downtown area that had Garden City wind gear out in the front window. As again, Caleb Skoll walks his way aboard, the first batter of the ball game for the win.
Again, that's not the best way to start off a contest. A leadoff walk, I'm okay with a leadoff single, leadoff double, whatever. But a leadoff walk, it just can't happen.
Especially a 4-pitch walk. Here's the delivery from Parker. Strike found. First strike of the ball game for the Cowboys. 0-1 to the returning All-Star Jacob Telemonte.
They're actually updating the pitch count.
Live as we speak. 5 pitches so far for Wakeman. Garden City got out of the first with 14 pitches for Westbrook. As this is fouled off on the left side, Wakeman quickly ahead 0-2. That shattered glass sound effect being played over the loudspeaker here. They've got the Garden City Community College logo. I've been seeing that around town as well, over on the first base side. I couldn't tell you what that is on the third base side, Roan.
That's Papa John's, I think, and then that's about it.
Where, Papa John's? Oh, on the sponsorship. As this is a looping ball headed for left field, and Sean Becker playing shallow. It tips off of his glove. Underneath Becker out in left. Runner was waiting to tag up and Skoll at first base, so he will only get to second, but nobody out. Runners at first and second, where Sean is playing shallow out in left field, had a chance there, but again, not able to make the grab.
And now you go to Jason Rooks with nobody out, the right-handed batter who has been an absolute machine for the Wind this season. Rooks, like we mentioned, a 31-game hit streak. He's batting .451 with a .554 on base. This guy's borderline unstoppable.
And we know that Wakeman watches film. He creates a plan on how to attack batters as he gets the foul ball on the first pitch of the AB 0-1. I know a lot of these guys do. I just know specifically I've heard Wakeman talking about it.
Oh, for sure. Like there have been times where me and Wakeman have gotten together. I've shown him film, and he kind of figures it out on his own. And boy, oh boy, has he done it.
But again, 0-1 count to Jason Rooks with the 31-game hitting streak, the largest in Garden City Wind history. Wakeman checks back at second, delivers the slider for a strike on the inside, 0-2. Again, it's tough to recognize the pitches where we're situated off on the right side. I think that was the slider. Let's hope it was.
I think you're right, though, honestly, because it had obviously the sliding motion, but I feel like it had a bit more velo, too.
Yeah, could be a cutter. Here's the 0-2 from Wakeman. Eyes back to second base. Double take, triple take in a delivery. No, a timeout by Rooks before the pitch is delivered. Still the count 0-2 for Jason Rooks.
Which, hey, tomorrow is going to be our last time at this venue before we head off to Roswell. At least there we'll be right behind home plate.
Last time at the venue, unless we're going to the All-Star game.
Oh, yeah, that is right.
Which I am not. And Roen is up in the air right now. Probably going.
I want to, but it's not my decision.
Yeah. Here's the 0-2 from Wakeman. We see the pitch clock down to 5 seconds as he delivers low and away for a ball. Now 1-2. Yeah, I like Garden City. It's a little cooler up here as well. A high of 90, I think, today. We're used to touching 100 back in Alpine. If we're going to Tucson on the road, it'll be 103, 104. As Wakeman delivers, gets Rooks to go around. Yes! They check in with the first base umpire. Jason Rooks struck out, failing to check up his swing with runners at first and second, nobody out, as Dominic Enbody steps in the 4 spot. Again, we want to end that hitting streak. We want it to end at 31 or 32 games.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Again, to have now a left-handed batter and Dom Enbody coming up, this is a guy who, one of the greatest players in franchise history, also a tough out. Really, 1 through 9 is a tough out for Garden City.
One of many lefties on this Garden City roster, which I think plays especially lethal at home with the 285 porch and right. I think having a lefty-heavy lineup is going to make them susceptible to go yard out to right field as this was taken for a strike.
I think that was all part of the plan for manager Easton Barnes.
Again, it plays 285 to right, 315 to left. Wind is blowing off to the left side. Yesterday, it was blowing to the right.
That's still blowing pretty heavily in.
Yeah. Again, we're in the plains now, the Great Plain region of the United States. A lot of flat land, wind travels. It's interesting that Alpine, tucked into the mountains in West Texas, as this is found for a strike on the outside, can get as much wind. But when you just head a little bit west of Marfa, you start getting into some flat region. I guess the Chihuahuan Desert is down south of us. We're technically in the Chihuahuan Desert.
Like Chihuahua.
Yeah, exactly. Chihuahua, Mexico. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Wakeman to Dominic Enbody. Double take back to second. And this is lifted, looping for left field. Oh, no, it's into the glove of our shortstop today, Kyle Rodriguez. I thought that one was north of Kyle Rodriguez, heading for shallow left field, but he's able to pack up, make the grab in the out. On the soft looper off the cleanup bat, Dominic Enbody. Now Andrew Broutman steps in. Andrew, the third baseman for the Garden City Wind. Yesterday, Andrew had our number.
He really did, yes. One of many Garden City Wind all-stars right here. Very good bat.
It's the right-hander, steps in, takes a fastball on the inside for a ball 1-0. We know back in Alpine, as we have the radar gun, that Wakeman averages about 93 to 94 on the fastball, can touch up to 96 at times. That's some special heat for the Pecos League as Wakeman delivers the 1-0. Fouled back, now 1-1 the count to Broutman.
Yeah, Wakeman is a guy, one of those rare specimens, I'll say it, that has such great velo, but at the same time, he's able to control it for the most part. I mean, the walks, like, obviously they haven't been what you would want, but they're not egregious.
Oh, man, I see now. All right, Rowan, if I have this tab open, could you pull up the stream on your phone real quick to tell me if it updates live when I have it open? Here's the pitch from Wakeman, 1-1, popped up. And foul on the right side, 1-2. Let's see if the ball and strike count moves to 1-2. It hasn't yet on my computer. All right, just did. Sorry, we're trying to work out. It is. Okay, cool.
Trying to do the best we can for you guys.
We have some other ideas, not able to implement them just yet. As Wakeman takes a timeout, they'll reset that 20-second pitch clock here in the Pecos League, instituted halfway through the season last year, the pitch clock.
That's a weird adjustment for these pitchers to have to make.
As Parker delivers down low, now 2-2. The other thing about it, though, is a lot of colleges, I think almost every level in college is using a pitch clock now. Minor leagues are using the pitch clock, major leagues. So
I think Northwood's league is too, which he was there last summer.
Parker was?
Yeah, and playing summer collegiate, one of the top summer collegiate leagues right there.
As Parker eyes down Andrew Broutman. Again, he's retired 2 straight after letting 2 aboard. Delivery down in the dirt, past Tuttle to the backstop, runners advance. 2 in scoring position now for the Garden City Wind here in white. Again, we're live on YouTube. We're also at bigbendradio.com, live back in Alpine, 98.7 FM or 1240 AM. Roan, where did we post the links to YouTube? Is that on the Instagram right now?
It's on the Facebook.
On the Facebook. So if you want to try and chime in, go to the Facebook as this misses inside. Ball 4. Bases are loaded for the Wind here in the first. The Wind did their damage in the bottom of the 5th yesterday where they scored 6 runs, beating us 9-2 as Robert Morissetti steps in, the first baseman. A left-hander, as you could imagine. We've got a right-handed first baseman right now, but he's a catching option primarily in Aaron Izquierdo. Yeah, Alpine Cowboy roster has been decimated from call-ups, from injuries, from whatever you can think of. Assist misses down low, 1-0.
The good news is help is on the way. The Cowboys got some guys coming pretty soon. Actually, I think as soon as this Roswell trip starts, we'll have some familiar faces even returning.
One face rhymes with Post Malone.
Okay, now this is getting way too obvious.
This misses up high, 2-0. Robert Morissetti. Yeah, we really spilled the beans yesterday, Roan. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Wakeman. Down in the dirt, ball 3. In danger of walking in the go-ahead run here in the first as he barehands the throw back from Tuttle. 3-0 count. Bases loaded, 2 down. 6th spot, Robert Morissetti, another all-star for the Garden City Wind. I'm just guessing, Roan. Is that right?
You're right.
You can guess about anybody in the lineup, as this is a fastball finding the bottom of the zone for a strike, 3-1. I mean, is Skoll an all-star?
No.
So their shortstop isn't an all-star. That's interesting.
Well, he's only batting about 284.
Telemonte, Rooks, Inbody, Broutman, Morissetti, they're all all-stars. That's 2 through 6 in their order today, as this is fouled off on the left side. 3-2 now.
I lied. Skoll's an all-star.
Okay, that's 1 through 6 in their order. What about Pierce Kahn?
Nope.
Okay. Adam Purdy?
Nope.
So they 1 through 6 in their order are all-stars, 7, 8, and 9. Well, I don't know about Zach Westbrook. I would imagine he's not with the 6-7 ERA.
No.
So 7, 8, and 9 are not all-stars. As this is delivered, grounded towards our first baseman, Aaron Izquierdo. He'll grab and step on the first base bag. The bases were stranded for the Wind, or the bases were loaded for the Wind, then stranded. We're tied at 0 heading into the second inning here in Garden City, Kansas. Again, we're back here in Garden City, Kansas, where the Alpine Cowboys and the Garden City Wind are matching up for their second time this season. Last year, the Wind and Cowboys played 5 total times, 3 times in the regular season, where the Cowboys went 2-1 back in Alpine. Then the Cowboys went 2-0 against the Wind in a playoff series, the semifinals of the Pecos League. This is found for a strike on the outside to Brandon Andrews. Brandon had a solo shot yesterday for Alpine. Now batting cleanup, the center fielder and big right-hander. Zach Westbrook delivers down low, 1-1.
It just feels like Brandon Andrews is on a whole different level right now. I've been very impressed in the last 2 weeks from him.
He steps back in. It looks like they ruled the play out and left by Sean Becker an error officially. Brandon Andrews gets a hold of this one. High fly ball to left field. Will it stay fair? It's hooking. Just foul. Man, from my vantage point, Rowan, I thought maybe that could have stayed in the ballpark. Maybe it was a fair ball, but again, by the time it landed with that right to left spin, it was well foul. But that cleared the fence, the 315 fence out to left field by maybe 45, 50 feet.
That's what we like to call bad English right there.
Yeah.
Just not going in the Cowboys' favor. Andrews absolutely demolished that ball, which, again, that's not easy to do with the way the wind's blowing in, especially out to left. It's so hard to carry a ball out there.
Darn tune, ain't that some bad English, Rowan? As Brandon Andrews steps back in. He's a Texas guy as this sails behind his head, now 2-2. All right, where's he from in Texas?
Hey, he's from New Braunfels.
Okay, that's the Austin area.
He was at Dallas Christian College.
Maybe San Antonio-ish. I don't know. One of those two. Here's the 2-2. I think it's Hill Country as Brandon Andrews grounds this towards the third baseman. He'll attack, firing across in time. Ooh, they pulled the first baseman off the bag. He pirouetted to apply the tag to Andrews, so 1 down. Westbrook has faced 4 batters, sat all 4 of them down on contact as Aaron Izquierdo steps in. That's what we expected when we saw his stats before the ball game, giving up just 11 walks in 36 innings, but giving up 42 hits. I just guessed those numbers, Rowan, from what I saw earlier. I think I got both of them wrong, but it's close enough. Here, we can look. Zach Westbrook has given up.
Oh, you're looking at Westbrook's numbers? Oh, man.
This misses for a ball, 1-0. 36 innings pitched.
41 hits.
41 hits and 15 walks.
42. You had Jackie Robinson on the brain.
Yeah. Here's the delivery. Smacked down the first base line. First baseman steps on the bag after making the grab. Unassisted out. First baseman to first baseman. Again, that was Aaron Izquierdo grounding out. And Hunter Damon, our player of the game yesterday, came in for Marco Martinez, who was facing, who's just a bit uncomfortable after a lengthy bus ride. And we brought in Hunter yesterday. Hunter went, what was it? He was 2 for 2 with a walk.
2 for 2 with a walk and a sac fly.
Yeah, Andy had that 9-4 put out, 9-6 put out from right field as this finds his own first strike, 0-1. Again, a brand new face for the Alpine Cowboys. Found the team by an Instagram DM. Said, hey, would you look at my stuff? And we did. And he packed up his bags and headed out to Alpine. Hunter now pops this one up. Headed for shallow center field. Garden City Wind off and running. Center fielder calls everyone off. Has the grab in the out. 3 up, 3 down. There. Zach Westbrook has faced the minimum through 2 innings.
And so far, he's perfect. I will say it.
Yeah, he is perfect. Perfect game right now. A no-hitter also for Zach Westbrook. We'll be back in a moment. Pierce Kahn will bat first for the Wind. Again, they loaded the bases in the bottom of the first, but Parker Wakeman got out of it unscathed, retiring 2 after putting 2 aboard, then walking Andrew Broutman in the 5 spot before grounding out Rob Marcetti to the first base bag. Again, Pierce Kahn leading this off. Roan, who did he play for again in the World Baseball Classic?
For Pakistan.
Pakistan. So I don't know how big of a baseball program Pakistan has, but Pierce Kahn is on the Pakistan national team. Rowan, I feel like I've heard about Pakistan here recently. Has Pakistan been in the news recently?
Have they?
I think they have. Pierce Kahn stepping in, the second baseman.
Sorry, I can't hear you, pal. Ooh.
Really? Let's fix that here.
Ooh, I think I do hear you now.
Okay, we're good.
Let's go.
Pakistan World Baseball Classic player Pierce Kahn takes a strike on the outside, 0-1.
That looked like the curveball that time from Parker Wakeman. Again, some of the nastiest breaking stuff you'll see, but it's kind of overshadowed by the fact that he's got a 95-mile-per-hour heater.
He's thrown 28 pitches just in that first inning. The starter for the Wind threw 23 through 2, as this is found for a strike on the outside, 0-2 to Pierce. Westbrook, the pitcher, on deck. Then Adam Purdy, the 9 spot in the hole. Wind still blowing in, if not to the left side, and a swing and a miss. Parker Wakeman, a 3-pitch strikeout, retires Pierce Kahn on the swing and gets to face the pitcher with nobody on and 1 down.
You'd expect a fastball heavy diet. This is the first pitcher-on-pitcher matchup we're going to see today. Let's see how Wakeman handles it.
I would guess Wakeman goes fastball all the way, but we'll see. Again, that's an unwritten rule here in the Pecos League. It kind of carried over from old-time baseball. Well, not that old, as pitchers used to hit just here recently, as this misses down low, 1-0. When was the last time pitchers were hitting the MLB, Rowan?
I believe the last time it was the National League that didn't have the universal DH. I believe that stopped in 2021. 2022 is the first year that they had a real DH.
So not that long ago. As this is found for a strike. Pair of fastballs to Westbrook, now 1-1. Wakeman at 32 pitches. Again, we need our starters to go deep. They have been doing a great job of doing so all season, but the 1-1 misses just inside. Now 2-1 the count.
I guarantee one of the only times you'll see a Cowboys starter that was able to get just able to have the win and not go the whole game, or not the.
That was a breaking pitch, Ron. A swing and a miss, 2-2.
I'm trying to find the words. Okay, so I think the only time you'll see that where a Cowboys starter doesn't go deep and Alpine still wins the game was 4th of July in that 7-inning game. Conal didn't even go 2 innings, but the Cowboys still won. But they had to climb their way back.
Fastball misses just inside, fills up the count at 3-2. Yeah, Ron, you're right. That's the only time. And, one promising sign, we talked to, again, James Prockish today on the podcast. He talked about Lance Meyer's teams, Rowan, getting hot at the right time. A swing and a miss on another breaking ball, low and away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wakeman. He can try and strike out the side, facing off against Adam Purdy in the 9 spot. But that's what it's all about, Rowan. It's about getting hot at the right time. That's a huge deal in baseball. Ole Miss, the year they won the national championship, was the last team into the tournament.
Really?
Has the last team into an NCAA basketball tournament ever even been close to winning the national championship?
No.
But it's just about getting hot at the right time in baseball, as this misses high and away, 1-0.
Well, how about UCLA in 2021? They made the Final Four. I think they were one of the last 4 in.
And UNC recently, I think.
Yes.
Was that 2023 where UNC was the last
2022, yeah.
Yeah. Wakeman now finds a strike on the inside to the left fielder, Adam Purdy.
They were one of the last teams in this year, and they got an upset victory.
I'll say this under hush breath. Hopefully no Wind fan watching, but rumor has it Adam Purdy has a noodle out in left, Rowan. Now this misses well away to Purdy, 2-1.
A noodle?
As in, he doesn't have a great arm.
Oh, man.
So we'll look to see if we test him on a sac fly heading that way in the ballgame.
Where'd you hear that from?
Just a rumor. It was written on the bathroom stall. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Off speed, a swing and a miss. Now 2-2, the count to Purdy.
Just to paint the picture, and I'm not doing this to take a shot at anybody. The bathrooms don't have stalls here. They have curtains.
Really?
And apparently they didn't even have curtains last year.
It wasn't written on the stall then. It was written on the curtain. Now ground ball headed for the right side of the infield. Outstretched glove of Trevor Tripoli, and it's diving glove to shallow right field. There's a 2-out single for the win. Now Caleb Skoll. We're back to 1 through 6 and back to 6 straight All-Stars coming into the batter's box for Garden City. Again, we think, well, I don't think, Rowan, I'm pretty sure that the Mountain North division a bit stronger. So the South would be the strongest division in the Pecos League. The North, the second strongest, with the Pacific Division being the weakest, as this is found. No misses for a ball in the inside, 1-0.
I do think, though, if the Wind played in the Mountain South, which would not make sense geographically, I do think they would be the second best team in the division. Honestly, I think Tucson would be a little bit better, but still.
I think you're right. This is found for a strike on the outside now. 1-1 the count for Caleb Skoll out of the University of Texas Permian Basin up in Odessa.
However, I do think we would be right there behind them at third.
Yeah. What about Pecos?
I think we're better.
Yeah. We're 2.5 games, or we may be 3.5 games back. I didn't see what they did yesterday. This misses down low for a ball. Now 2-1. Here, let's pull it up.
And I'm just saying, statistically, Garden City is a better team than Alpine. Really, there's only one way to find out who is the team, and that's right here, right now.
Yeah, I think if we were trying to make an honest assessment, we need to play about 15 games against them.
Yes.
To see who is the better team. As Wakeman checks in at first base, sliding back in time is Adam Purdy. So the only games going on at this moment on point streak, Trinidad leads Kansas City 2-0. Again, we're tied up here with the Wind as this is fouled off. 2-2 the count now for the one spot.
Trinidad and Kansas City, that has to be a very depressing matchup, but
it looks like Pecos is not playing today. They should have played yesterday then. And they beat Roswell 10-2. Santa Fe lost 3-1. Now an off-speed found for a strike. Rowan's got the signal here. Rowan, you want to stay right here this time?
Let's do it. Why not?
Hey, today I've got the shirt on. Rowan, you guys like the shirt back there?
No,
Let's see if
it's
you guys
terrible.
can see it here.
Oh, the sun.
Yeah. Oh,
the mighty sun.
The sun is right behind us. I'm a big Padre guy. I got my San Diego Padres shirt on. Go Padres.
No, go Dodgers.
No, Rowan is a big-time Dodgers fan, if you guys don't know by now. I couldn't care less about the Padres, but I bought this shirt at a thrift store earlier today just to.
You bought this today?
Yeah, it was $4, man.
Oh, of course.
Isn't it a nice shirt, though?
Honestly, they should have just given it to you for free. That's about what it's worth.
Yeah. But again, I'm sporting the San Diego Padres.
Now, I will say, if the Padres offered me a job, I would become their biggest fan immediately.
Really? That's turncoat. That is blasphemous. We still have the Garden City Wind water. You know, the other day, Ron, we were talking about a turncoat. We were talking about who's the famous turncoat from the Revolutionary War?
Benedict Arnold.
We were talking about Benedict Arnold and how I think I said something like, if only Benedict Arnold had done something really big for the American side. He was the hero of a big-time battle in the Revolutionary War. So
yes.
Benedict Arnold did do a lot for America, but again, was a turncoat and a double agent, I believe, for the British.
Yeah, because I believe he was with the British, then came to us, then went back to the British. That would be like if we acquired Anthony Manacero from the Tucson Saguaros, and then he went right back to the Tucson Saguaros. That's kind of how it would be.
Yeah. Well, it would really be like if we acquired him, and then in the biggest moment of the year, he struck out at the plate intentionally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, John Tuttle. We'll go back to our game cast here. Again, those were the scores from yesterday in the Pecos League on our screen. And here's the ball game. Again, John Tuttle against Zach Westbrook as this misses down low, 1-0.
The people listening on the radio have to be very confused when we're talking about this screen.
Yeah. Yeah, we're showing our screen here on YouTube on a live stream as this misses low and away to Tuttle. Now 2-0 count. Just 25 pitches in the ball game for Westbrook, who has sat all 6 batters he's faced. No strikeouts. All 6 have. He's induced contact 6 times. I think it's going to be pretty tough to have a no-hitter, Roan, if you're inducing that much contact. As this misses up high, 3-0.
I mean, it is possible.
Yeah.
But still, he has one going, has the perfect game going as well. Under 30 pitches right now in the top of the third. He's looked really good.
Again, we're doing our best to jinx him here. Here's the 3-0. Strike called on the inside. Now 3-1 the count to JT. John Tuttle, the former Roswell Invader, was with the Cowboys last year in our 4-loss regular season. Right now, the Wind are sitting at 4 losses with just about 2.5 weeks remaining on the season. Sis misses inside, ball 4. There goes the perfect game for Westbrook. Here in the third, as Tuttle walks his way aboard from the 7 hole. Parker Wakeman now batting 8th in the order. Again, your starting pitcher on the day who's thrown 46 pitches through 2 innings will step in.
Yeah, which is not a great sign because right now he's on pace to probably throw about only 4 innings this contest.
Yeah, we'd probably push him up to 5 if we could.
Yeah.
But at least he's gone 2 scoreless, Rowan. You know what? We're not picky at this point. We'll take what we can get. Wakeman shows bunt, pulls it away. It misses high, 1-0.
And he finally, before that, he was going bare hand.
Wow. Went to Dick's Sporting Goods. It's not far from a hotel, Rowan.
It's not far at all.
It's in walking distance. Definitely in biking distance. I went to the restaurant next door, Old Chicago, got a pizza last night. Wow. Now tries to bunt it. It misses low, 1-1.
Yeah, me and last night, Hunter Damon, again, we went out, got some Mexican food again.
Really?
And it was a different place, but this time it was better. Offered the free chips and the queso, of course. That's always better.
Wait, you didn't get free chips at the last place? Parker was often swinging on a 1-1 count after showing bunt for the first 2 pitches, but now behind 1-2, and he will swing away again. Hey, Jesse Garcia bought that bat for the pitching staff at Dick's Sporting Goods yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Got Sean Becker to do the tape job on the handle, the cross section as this misses high and inside on the fastball, now 2-2.
Keep in mind, though, Tuttle was off and running as that pitch was about to come. Let's see if they do it again on a 2-2.
Wakeman with the bright red batting gloves. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Wakeman is retired on strikes, and Trevor Tripoli will step in. Trevor Tripoli again in the 9th spot, playing second base. Grew up in Hawaii. Do we remember what island he grew up on? Was it Oahu?
Maybe.
I think it was.
Oahu. Because how many islands are there in Hawaii?
I don't know the answer to that. I think there's a good amount of them. Oahu, I believe, is the biggest. It's the most populous, as this is a ball on the outside, 1-0. That's where Waikiki is.
Waikiki, all right.
That's the name. Beach. Here's the 1-0, grounded on the left side. Skull collects, could be 2 for the Wind. He flips to second base, and no throw from second. 1 down. Again, that lead runner, John Tuttle, retired. On the fielder's choice, now Sean Becker. Sean Becker flew out to deep right field in his first debut today to lead off the ball game. Deep right field, I don't even know if that exists here.
No.
285 again, the fence and right.
But it's not as prevalent as Santa Fe. I think mainly just because of the elevation. We're at about sea level here, so the ball isn't going to fly as much.
As this misses down low, 1-0. Yeah, exactly. Probably some more humidity too. So just thicker air in general at sea level and the humidity. 1-0 pitch from Westbrook. Misses for a ball. I'm not sure where, 2-0. Looks like a strike from here, Rowan.
Hey, you're probably wondering, what team are you on? We're on the team of honesty at the end of the day.
We call it straight down the middle, Rowan. as Westbrook sets up. Here's the 2-0. Sean Becker smacks it up the middle, headed for shallow center field, down for a base hit. There's the first hit of the ball game for the Cowboys. Busts the no-hitter wide open. Again, we're tied at 0. It's the top of the third. One hit for both teams. Cowboys also scored an error scored against Alpine. Kyle Rodriguez now, he's 0 for 1.
This is kind of like how yesterday's game was going until the bottom of the 5th inning when Garden City blew it right up.
Yeah. It was a tight ball game. Again, that just shaking off the bus ride as K-Rod takes his first strike 0-1. We don't get a whole lot of time in between our next bus ride. Again, tomorrow we play the Wind again at the same time, 6:30 Central here in Garden City. Then we're on the bus the next morning for a travel day, an 8-hour trip down to Roswell, New Mexico. 3 days in Roswell. As Kyle Rodriguez smacks this one through the left side. The go sign, rounding around third is Trevor Tripoli. He will come in to score, and the Cowboys take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the third. RBI single back-to-back hits, the first 2 of the ball game in the second trip through the order for Becker and Kyle Rodriguez. James Prakash now. Again, we're 2 for 2 the second time we get to see him. Maybe there's a limit on his stuff, Rowan. Maybe once you see it, you can pick up on it that second time around. Sometimes it's that third trip through the order for guys when you get to the tail end of your options on the mound. But let's hope the Cowboys can bust this one open here. The former Pecos League MVP, James Prakash, stepping in. Won that MVP award in 2023 as he takes the first pitch for a strike 0-1.
A shocking revelation about Prakash that we found out in our podcasts coming out tomorrow is that he was pretty much done with the game after transferring out of Augsburg College after 2 years. But then he met a guy named Sean Persky, you may know.
As this is grounded on the right side, diving, stopped by the first baseman. It scoots off to the left side of him. The throw from the second baseman who picks it up home is not in time as Sean Becker comes in to score. They'll score that as a hit officially. Again, a hard hit ball at the first baseman, and James Prakash has an RBI, back-to-back RBI singles for the Cowboys, who now lead 2-0.
Again, that was gutsy by the Cowboys, giving Becker the go sign, but you gotta love it. That was the type of move as a manager where you say, I'm tired of losing, man. I'm tired of it. Yeah. And to get that early jump, love it for the Cowboys.
But like you said, James Prakash was done with baseball. It was a student, a NARP.
What's a NARP?
And that's like a mean term that athletes use, a non-athletic regular person.
Oh, okay.
But
I like that.
He was, again, met Sean Persky, our manager, last year, the manager for the Cowboys for a number of years. This is back when Sean Persky was still playing ball, as Brandon Andrews pops this one up and foul back behind us, 1-1. And he was talked into it. Discovered indie ball. He didn't know what indie ball was, Roan, and now he's an indie ball legend.
Yeah, because he ended up getting the opportunity to play summer collegiate ball for the Gate City Grays, which is the same team Sean Persky played for before he ended up getting his contract with the Alpine Cowboys in 2017.
As Brandon Andrews steps back in. Here's the 1-1. Andrews sends this to center field, back at the wall. Looks like they will be under it, and they are. Cowboys take a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the third. Again, an RBI single for Kyle Rodriguez, for James Prakash. 3 hits in a row for the Cowboys, and we'll be back in a moment. Is this our first lead of the series?
Yes.
I can't remember if we took a lead yesterday.
Oh, no, we did not.
We did not. It's first lead of the series. Again, we'll be back. Again, Parker Wakeman has thrown 46 pitches in the ball game through 2 innings. Now the starter for Garden City has thrown 44 through 3. Wakeman, though, will try for an efficient inning. This is a pivotal spot, facing off against 2, 3, and 4 for the Wind in their second trip through the order. As you saw a moment ago, the Cowboys were able to do their first damage, getting their first 3 hits, 1, 2, and 3 in their second trip through the order against the starter Westbrook. But Wakeman has been in conversations as the ace of the Cowboys staff. Again, one of the All-Stars, along with Humberto Vela. I think it's between Humberto and Wakeman right now, Rowan.
Yes.
This is found for a strike 0-1.
I would agree with that statement. I believe they are both ace level pitchers. And I think on any rotation, especially Garden City, I think if both of them were in the Garden City rotation, they would easily be the ace.
As the 0-1 comes, this is foul back 0-2. Yeah, we've mentioned it at times. Garden City have a great bullpen, probably the best bullpen in the league, but their starting rotation is lackluster at times.
Yeah.
4-30-4 ball club.
Yeah, which again, great. Tomorrow they're going with Jeremiah Williams. He was a guy who was with Trinidad last year. He's a very good arm for them. And tomorrow I think the Cowboys are going with not going to say.
Yeah, we'll keep that under wraps as we get a swing and a miss. Strike 3, 3-pitch strikeout. Jacob Telemonte is retired. Parker Wakeman now has 4 strikeouts in the game. 4 out of 7 outs recorded as Jason Rook steps in. He struck out looking his last time around.
You know, when there's an opposing manager, he's like, well, who do you guys got today? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I don't even know you.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I don't talk to strangers. Here's the pitch from Parker Wakeman. Fastball misses inside 1-0. Again, Rooks trying to extend the all-time Garden City record 31 game hitting streak. Parker Wakeman out of Tallahassee, Florida, delivers the 1-0. There's a ball missing just low and away, 2-0.
Yeah, he was teammates last year in the Pioneer League with Jake Sisto, current Cowboys catcher. I was in the dugout today with Jake Sisto.
As Parker delivers the 2-0, low and away, quickly the count 3-0.
And he pointed over there. He's like, "Hey, look, it's Jason Rooks." I looked over and they put me in a headlock.
Hey, let's just intentionally walk Jason Rooks every time he comes up. That'll end the hit streak. 3-0. Called a strike on the inside, 3-1. They've got a lot of sponsors out on the wall here at Garden City. Again, that's partially how they're able to fund the bus, the only other bus in the Pecos League outside of Alpine. Alpine, though, notably has the bus and pays their players. As this is found for a strike, off speed, moves it back to 3-2.
Beautiful curveball from Wakeman. There's not much Rooks could have done on that pitch.
The only sponsor you'd recognize out here, well, Napa's a sponsor, also a sponsor of our broadcast here.
Napa know-how.
Papa John's a sponsor. I wish we had a Papa John's in Alpine.
Ooh, I know Papa John's, but Pizza Hut and Little Caesars are also good.
Doesn't do it for me, Ron.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
Parker Wakeman. Maybe if they were a sponsor, they'd do it for me. 3-2. Fastball misses low. Ball 4. Walks the board. Jason Rooks with 1 out. Dominic Enbody 0 for 1 in the game, stepping in.
Wakeman here in the bottom of the 3rd inning is approaching 60 pitches. That's why you want to get out of this inning as quick as you can.
Let's see if the sun is still tucked back behind us.
Which a lot of guys.
Nope.
I mean, I know Dietrich Gertzken. He was telling me his approach is just straight up get in and out, in and out.
We might have Dietrich. We will have Dietrich coming here around the 4th inning for an interview, as this is found first strike 0-1.
I think that's the next half inning, actually.
Yeah, let's get that headset out. 0-1 count again to Dominic Enbody. Parker Wakeman with 1 down, a runner at first base, leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd. The delivery, strike found on the outside to the left-hander. It's a righty on lefty matchup. Wakeman, the right-hander, Enbody, the lefty.
I might take this one back, honestly, after he's done with it, because mine's terrible.
Enbody, oh yeah, you took the wrong one. Enbody is the catcher. I bet he throws right-handed, Rowan, but bats lefty. He could be a switch hitter. Assist misses inside 1-2.
And the only one way to find out, and that's to try out a lefty arm. Which, hey, we had Jesse out there, but I just don't remember him batting righty.
I don't either. Maybe he's a lefty batter.
The last switch hitter I remember the Cowboys facing was with the Pecos Bills last year, Andy Valdez.
Deep pull, Rowan. This is grounded foul down the first base line. Rowan, I think the first base and third base coaches right now for Garden City look like identical twins.
Easton Barnes on the. That's crazy that the skipper Barnes is on the first base side. Well, not crazy, but it's just not traditional for this league.
Yeah. Here's the 1-2 from Wakeman. Fastball. There's some mustard on it. Misses away. Now 2-2. Again, Wakeman can touch 95 to 96-ish. You want to throw a double headset on, Rowan? Cowboys are now out hitting the wind 3-1, by the way, as this is fouled back 2-2. Looking good, man. But if you break it, you buy it. 2-2 count again for N-Body. 0 for 1 in the game. So, like I mentioned, the wind with one hit, that came from their 9 spot, Adam Purdy. They have walked 3 times and reached on an error. Wakeman, a deep breath. Hey, Rowan, who's starting tomorrow? N-Body, a swing and a miss. Retired on strikes. That's the 5th K of the day for Parker Wakeman. Now it's 62 pitches as Andrew Broutman steps in. He walked his way aboard last time. Again, yesterday for Andrew Broutman. He'd be the player of the game if I wasn't so mad at him.
Exactly. You're like, I'm not picking a wind player.
He went 3 for 3 with 2 walks, including a 2-run home run, had 3 RBIs yesterday. And Broutman took our lunch money as this is found no misses for a ball 1-0.
What I do like, whenever a home run is hit here at Clint Leitner Field, they play "You Dropped a Bomb on Me" by the Gap Band. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. This misses low and away 2-0. Took my lunch money. I couldn't go to Ninja for hibachi today.
That's got to be the move for me sometime soon.
Yeah.
What time do they close?
I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, no.
They have the lunch special that I'd recommend going there during the lunchtime.
It's either that or Golden Corral.
2-0 high and inside 3-0.
I hit the Arby's today.
I've already gone to both Golden Corral and hibachi and Old Chicago. I just hop on my bike and eat. I had pho today too for lunch. I get everything that we don't have in Alpine. Yeah. Strike found at the knees 3-1. Pho's Vietnamese soup.
Oh yeah.
Spelled PHO. Again, the 3-1 count to Andrew Broutman. Parker Wakeman, the kick and pitch, low. No, strike called low and away. I'll keep a hushed tone there. I thought that was a ball. The Wind fans thought that was a ball. But Parker at 3-2. Wind still blowing in, not as much as it was earlier. Maybe 8 miles per hour, 10 miles per hour. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. Count stays at 3-2. The Winds fan have this chant that they do. And when they do something good, Rowan, they go whoosh.
Whoosh.
Hopefully we don't hear that today. We'll turn up the crowd mic if we do.
Where is the crowd mic? Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Sitting on an extension cord over there. Yesterday I couldn't quite hear the crowd mic when I was listening back to our recording.
But the one time I could hear the bat though was on that Brandon Andrews moonshot yesterday.
Really?
That was the only time I could hear the bat.
Again, a 3-2 count, 2 outs, runner at first base. Delivery from Wakeman, a swing and a miss. Fastball challenged him high and inside. Wakeman has 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. We're headed to the 4th. Cowboys leading 2-0. Hey, folks, we're back here again out in Garden City, Kansas. Dietrich Gertzkin with us, the starting pitcher from yesterday's game. Sorry, Dietrich, I had to mess with your mic there. How's it going, Dietrich?
It's going good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well, man. Hey, a 2-0 lead right now.
Yeah, I can't complain. It's good to see the boys up.
Let's stop sharing our screen so we can see Dietrich up here. What's up? Hey, Dietrich, we always like to tell the story about how you wrangled the goat last year. Jesse the goat. How'd that go, man?
Sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear it.
Let's fix that for you. But you wrangled our goat Jesse last year at the radio station. I'll fix this audio real quick. You hear me now?
No.
How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hey, last year we always like to tell the story how you wrangled the goat Jesse at the radio station. You remember doing that?
Kind of a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's an aggressive goat, though. You really got to take control of that goat. Have you worked with livestock before?
Yeah. Back home we have some horses and whatnot. So I've been around a farm my whole life. So I just saw it loose and I wanted to help out.
You know, that's the Cowboys back in the day were a lot of ranchers, a lot of kids, and nowadays it's more baseball guys. But it's nice to have somebody with some experience working livestock on the team. You know.
Well, I appreciate that.
I want to ask you, Dietrich. Started yesterday. What was your biggest takeaway from your start?
I do know I need to keep my composure a little better, obviously, but I mean, I thought I executed pitches well. Obviously, nobody's gonna be perfect behind the plate, so you just have to kind of make the most of what you have, and then from there, just kind of use what you're given and make the adjustments on what you're not. I mean, I felt the fastball was fine, slider was good. I was getting outs with it. Just kind of need to execute a little better and pick up the guys a little better, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and I mean, what did you take away from this lineup? Just like reading their swings, reading the guys. Do they have a pretty good 1 through 9?
Yeah, they definitely have a good group of guys, 1 through 9. I remember a few guys from last year's team. Actually, Rob, who's playing first, Dom, who's catching. Those guys, tough outs. And then their right fielder is a guy that played in the Pioneer, and he's got a good reputation and stuff. So being careful with him, you obviously can't miss over the middle of the plate with him. Otherwise, he'll take advantage just like any good hitter would. There's a very scrappy, I will say that.
Are you aware that he has a 31-game hit streak going, their right fielder?
I was not.
This is his found for strike 0-1. I was joking earlier. I think we should just intentionally walk him all day today to break up that hit streak.
I think Parker's doing a great job. Obviously, he's a great kid, and he's filling up the zone right now. So I feel like him playing this game, he'll do well.
I feel like in many ways you're kind of like the captain of this pitching staff.
Wow. Bang, bang play. That was a ground ball up the middle. Diving stop made by the second. No, that was the shortstop Skull, and he sent the first just in time. Again, that was bang, bang. I'm surprised we're not arguing it.
But I will say, I feel like in many ways you're kind of like the captain of the pitching staff. Just how do you lead these guys?
My biggest thing is leading by example. Obviously, yesterday kind of takes away from that, but I mean, going out there showing guys, you got to work every single day on the little things. Like all of our goal is to move up, obviously, and getting a taste of that earlier this season. Like that's the goal to get back, and we have a lot of guys who are young, fresh out of college and stuff, and I was the same way last year. So learning from my mistakes last year, keeping my composure and having a guy like JT and Rego and those guys around who help kind of keep me in place, keep where your feet are. That's what I try to remind the pitchers.
Now Hunter Damon will lift a high fly ball to deep right field, and it's grabbed for the second out of the inning. Again, the pitch count really low for Westbrook on the day. It seems like from the stats, again, he only has 1 strikeout all day. And that strikeout is against Wakeman, by the way. You think he's a guy who pitches to contact?
Yeah, I mean, as a pitcher, you want to last as long as possible to save the bullpen and everything. So you want to pitch to contact. That's something that I've kind of changed. I realized, I can't strike everybody out. So being able to pitch to contact, to let you guys work behind you, like keeps pitch count down, keeps runs off the board, and it helps keep you in the game longer for a lot of us.
And how do you change your approach to try and pitch to contact rather than pitch for the strikeout?
It's something Jesus, actually, our pitching coach, told us. Don't try to be too nasty. Pitch your pitch, whatever comes of it. Like, you just have to execute the first one and then the next one. Like you can't worry about what happened 5 pitches ago or what's going to happen on the next one. Like throw the pitch over the plate. If you throw a strike, obviously they're going to put the ball in play or whatever the case is. But if you're throwing balls, you're just walking guys around. They're going to beat you, obviously.
As we have a swing and miss here from Tuttle, 1-2 the count. Again, with 2 down, nobody on. Cowboys up 2-0 in the top of the 4th.
So, Dietrich, when you came to town, you also brought your buddy Ronan Tachibana with you, the Billings Mustangs. How did that process come about, bringing Ronan in on the team?
Ronan, good friend of mine from when I first got there. We connected right away, and he's a young kid, just needed some experience and everything. And when he called me and said that he got released, I right away called Lance and was like, "Hey, I know you need pitchers. Like, is this a guy that you'd be interested in?" And when he gave me the green light, it was, let's get him down here so we can get him that experience that he needs, and he's made the most of it. Obviously,
we can keep it here, Ron. Do you have to? Are you charting today?
I'm radar, but I'm good right now. If I say Bert, cover me.
Cool. Yeah. So what do you do when you chart? I think we've asked that question of other guys, but do you feel like it helps you lock in?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely keeps you engaged with the game. I mean, it's something I've never really struggled with, in my opinion. Like, I've always been big on supporting the guys. Like, I want to be energy. I want to be positive energy, obviously. And so, cheering on the guys behind the plate. Obviously, being in an away game, it's a little tough. You can't, you don't want to cheer too loud, obviously, around all the opposing fans. But it's something that, it does keep you locked in. You radar, write down what pitches, what the result is, and so on and so forth. And that lets us look back at it as a pitching staff and go, okay, we had success when we did this. We ran into trouble when we did that. It helps you prepare for the next week.
Yeah. Just looking at the stuff from your last outing, what do you want to do into your next one?
For me, it's staying healthy, obviously. Like, obviously with my shoulder, trying to make sure I keep that as toned down as possible. But it's really just executing and taking it pitch by pitch. I think my big focus is going to be working down the mound. I was leaving some stuff up. And then I like to have competitions with myself and my bullpens. Like, say I throw a 15 pitch pin, I want to see how many strikes I can throw, or like execute a certain pitch. Like, say I go to the guy 0-2, I want to finish my slider on the white line, trying to execute and win points based on doing that.
And you came here from the Billings Mustangs. What's the quality of life difference from the Frontier and Pecos League?
It's definitely different. I will say that, my first appearance was somewhere close to like 4,000 fans, 5,000 fans, somewhere in there.
Wow.
So like having that, and then the fans are right there on the bullpen, like they can reach out and touch you. But like the field staff, they took care of us. We had Clubby, he was great about all of our stuff was clean, hanging up in our locker. And then I mean the guys too, like you're around a bunch of guys who are same minded. We want to get into affiliate ball, we want to win games, and so it's definitely a different environment, but it doesn't take away from being here and in Alpine and everything. Like there's a reason why I came back. I love this place, and that was my first call as soon as I got released.
What was the biggest thing you missed about Alpine while you were gone?
The guys. I mean, it's hard. I mean, obviously last year's team was special, and this year it's a completely different team, and we have to play to our strengths. But just the relationships that I was able to build with those guys, and how much we pushed each other to be better every day, like that's what I miss.
And Rob Morrissetti will lead off the inning for the win. Again, Wakeman in the bottom of the 4th, trying to hold on to a 2-0 lead for the Cowboys on the road against Garden City. He's nodding his head to the walkout music. Do you ever catch a vibe from other guys' walkout music?
Oh yeah, there's definitely some guys that have some good walkout music. Actually, it was funny. I was laughing with Bert. Parker was singing to one of the songs on the mound actually earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course Parker was. He was telling me today, he's like, I like all music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm no different on that one. I love my country music and stuff, but I don't mind rap and all the other stuff too. It really just depends on the day.
You've got like an EDM walkout. Was it Light It Up?
Light It Up, yeah. Some songs I don't even listen to for the lyrics. It's just the background music I like.
Oh yeah.
1-1 count right now against Morrissetti, who's 0 for 1 in the game. You like their uniforms, Dietrich?
Yeah, I mean, you can never go wrong with all white, but I mean, red looks a lot better.
Yeah. Rowan was telling me it kind of mirrors a Dodgers look.
It does.
Like the cursive lettering.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
You have a team at that level that you root on? Is this for a ball 2-1?
For Major League Baseball, I'm a Cardinals fan.
Oh yeah,
through and through.
I remember when you guys traded Tommy Edman to the Dodgers. You were telling me, hey, you got a good one.
Yeah. You like to rub that in my face sometimes. Yeah. That was definitely tough. I loved him.
And thanks
but
for the NLCS MVP.
You're welcome.
That's why. Again, a 2-2 count for Robert Morrissetti. Wakeman on the mound, a beautiful day. How about the weather out here? 90 degrees. It's crazy how 90 degrees feels like a refresher.
Yeah, the humidity is not as bad today, but I mean, I'm from the Midwest, so for me, it wasn't really tough to come back.
Wow,
Great pitch.
a swing and a miss. Parker Wakeman has 4 strikeouts in the last 5 batters he's faced.
He looks great right now.
Yeah, really got in a roll. How many strikeouts is that in the day? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts today.
Ooh.
We're in Alpine. It's past the hat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now Pierce Khan. Pierce Khan played for the Pakistan World Baseball Classic team.
Really?
Yeah.
Speaking of hat passes, do you know who in Coconut Field history? Do you know who the only opposing player is to get a hat?
Past the hat.
Yeah.
It was Lance Myers. I do remember
Yep.
this. He is a legend, and I actually tell all the guys about that too.
Oh, that's funny.
I have a good relationship with him. Honestly, that's one of the guys I take a lot of advice from. Obviously, I talked to Persky a lot last year and stuff, but me and Lance have always had a good relationship. So that's something he told me actually when I first got here in spring training.
Here's the 1-0 to Khan. Found for a strike. Now 1-1.
And how often do you keep in touch with Sean now?
I haven't talked to him in a while. Actually, I've been meaning to text him. I don't know. I get weirded out because I don't want to feel like I'm bothering someone.
Yeah.
So especially because I know he's doing his thing out in Boise. I was actually
Killing
looking
it.
forward to playing against him and Darden and the rest of those guys. But it's the past. I got to stay where my feet are, and that's the biggest thing I try to preach to everybody else is being where your feet are. Whatever happened yesterday or a year ago doesn't matter. It's where we are right now.
Now 2-1 count. Again for Pierce Khan with 1 down. Parker, the kick and pitch. Fastball misses inside 3-1. Hey, one thing we talk about is kind of release points. Do you feel like you're really good about having similar release point with your pitches and your different pitches?
I will say early on, yes. I do know as I get tired, I will start to kind of drop a little bit, especially trying to make my slider, nastier and stuff like that. But I feel like for a lot of us, we have good release points where it's consistent. That's the biggest advantage we can have as pitchers is making something look like a fastball for as long as possible to deke a batter.
Yeah, and like those sidearm guys too. I feel like in many cases, like you're in the batter's box, just with that release point, it looks like a breaking ball. Sometimes just the release point can change everything.
Exactly.
3-2 is lined out to right field in front of Hunter in right. And that's a 1-out single for Pierce Khan. Batting in the 7th spot. Good news is you get Zach Westbrook, the pitcher now.
Good tear ground ball. It's probably going to be a bunt. He's got to cover third base line here because Proc still has to stay just in case the guy rounds. Unless it's hard, then he's got to field it.
So I do want to reference the pitcher-on-pitcher matchup. So the unwritten rule is you throw fastballs, but
I've given up on that.
You've given up on that?
I think we've seen that a few guys that are like that at this point.
Parker's the same as me, but I don't know. I'm not hitting as well as I did last year, but my job's to pitch. But after probably my 3rd or 4th AB, I realized that a lot of guys are done throwing just fastballs, and some of these hitters can hit. I'm gonna be honest, like anybody should be able to hit it. If you know a fastball's coming, you should be able to hit it. And so, it's an unwritten rule. Usually we throw each other fastballs, but if you know you got a guy who can hit, you're throwing in some other stuff.
Pair of strikes is this is bunted foul on the right side after he takes a strike 0-2.
So if you're facing a guy like, let's go historically, he's not in the league anymore. Let's say you're facing like an Andrew Baker, you're not just throwing him fastballs, right?
No, that kid could hit. And I mean, you always have respect for those guys. I feel like it's a good challenge because then for me, right, like if I'm throwing off speed to them, it's keeping it, fine tuned for the rest of the lineup. Whereas if I am just throwing fastballs, then I feel like sometimes I might lose the feel of a pitch that I might need for the next guy.
Imagine just giving Hunter Reed fastballs.
That kid could hit.
Yeah.
I loved watching him swing.
Here's the 1-2. Timeout, actually. Now, you talk about having that feel. I feel similar on my golf swing, man. I feel like when I try and crank a drive a bunch of times and haven't had a 170-yard shot in a while, I just don't have the feel to put it close to the green.
Exactly.
Do you play golf?
I do. I love playing golf. I'm not good at it, but I love playing golf.
Here's the 1-2. Grounded up the middle. Could be 2. It's Kyle to Trip. Trip across the diamond in time. Double K, double play by the Alpine Cowboys. They get out of the 4th, still with the lead. We're headed to the top of the 5th inning, leading 2-0 on the road here in Garden City. 84 pitches for Wakeman. So at what point are we thinking we need to activate somebody in the bullpen? Is it around this 80 mark?
I would say you get guys kind of stretching right now, because obviously you have to read the game. It's a 2-0 game, and obviously in this league, like even a 10-run lead is not safe against some of these teams, especially a team like Garden. I mean, Parker looks great right now, so I wouldn't be freaked out if he gets a guy on or two. But you still want guys moving around just in case something does happen.
Yeah, Dietrich, just to kind of wrap it up, what's your biggest goal other than winning a title? That's obviously the main thing. For you individually throughout the course of this season, what's your biggest goal?
Just be a good teammate. I'm trying to be, as you said, a leader of the pitching staff and stuff. And, I always take pride in the fact that I'm close with the hitters too. And a lot of the guys look up to me and, ask me for advice. So just being a better person, being a guy that they can trust and just setting an example and a standard for the rest of the guys, especially a lot of the new guys.
Absolutely. And it feels like you are that, a steady presence for us, Dietrich.
Oh, absolutely.
In a year that's been a little different from last year.
Yeah, I definitely have grown a lot. Went to church with my mom and, been finding myself trying to be happy, like focused on one thing and not trying to do too much.
It's great to hear.
Again, out here will be Westbrook. Do you think he's related to Russell?
Actually, his parents are sitting behind me and Bert.
Really?
Yeah, they're from Texas area.
Wow.
I think they said Fort Worth.
Okay.
Fort Worth. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, we have the official stuff. That PDF is really nice.
I actually played against him in college. He went to Kansas Wesleyan before he transferred to a D2.
Okay.
So he played against our school. I didn't pitch against him, but
because he was at Kingsville. That's the D2 he was at, right?
Yeah.
Texas A&M Kingsville?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's Lone Star.
It's cool the guys that you meet outside of, like, when you get into a space like this, your bubble gets real small. It's like, oh, a guy that knew this guy or whatever the case is. It's always cool to see.
Yeah, Texas or baseball's a small world, as they say. His favorite food is beef.
Just beef?
Yeah.
Hey, I like me a good steak.
Hey, exactly. So you obviously, like, for you guys as athletes, like making stuff like steak, any kind of beef, like that's huge for you, right?
Oh yeah. Biggest thing, you lose a lot of weight in season. I'm down pretty bad on weight, but you do it for the love of the game, and whatever you can find or make it happen. A lot of rice, a lot of beef, like whatever you can get your hands on.
A lot of trips to Lowe's.
A lot of trips to Lowe's and the gas station when it's late at night.
Pair of balls, 2-0 to Wakeman. It's funny, it's the opposite for me. I gain weight during the season because we just sit up here. We don't do anything. We're on the road.
Places with me. I'd like to put the weight on.
Yeah. Here's the 2-0 to Parker Wakeman. Down for a strike. Now the count 2-1. And sorry, I was looking here. His favorite baseball players are Texas Ranger Elvis Andrews.
I can see that.
Westbrook, as this is found for a strike, 2-2. Elvis Andrews does the color for Texas Ranger baseball here at KVLF sometimes.
Oh, yeah, and the play-by-play, who's that?
It's on our.
He gave you a shout out.
Yeah, my guy, Matt Hicks.
Matt Hicks with Ryan.
Here's the 2-2. Misses for a ball. Now the count 3-2, filled up to Wakeman, trying to be the leadoff base runner to extend this 2-0 lead. Like you said earlier, 10 runs isn't safe in the Pecos League, and
no.
2-0 definitely isn't safe.
So Dietrich, let's say you were starting tomorrow. You're not, but let's say you were. What are you looking for with Garden City hitters just watching?
That's actually always starts with BP, kind of something you commented on last year. I'm reading hands, like where they're trying to go in BP, and then during the game, I'm constantly watching the hitters and like how they're reacting to pitches, like what they're seeing well, what they're not seeing well, results of pitches, and so on and so forth. So I mean, it always changes because you can have a scouting report on a guy And for instance, you could have a guy who's 0 for 20 and has been struggling, and then all of a sudden he's 5 for 5 in a game. Baseball's a weird sport where you can just turn around and reward a guy who's been putting the work in. So, obviously you got to make in-game adjustments, and that's something I'm still working on myself. I think all of us are.
Yeah, I feel like that's never done. Again, Wakeman walked his way aboard a moment ago. Wakeman Trevor Tripley in the 9 spot takes a bit of a wild pitch there. It's 1-0. So you walk the pitcher, your first pitch to the 9 spot, and then a legitimate hitter here in Trevor Tripley is a bit wild. What are you thinking here? I mean, you don't want to give him an easy pitch because he's thinking this is
typically off speed because you're trying to get them to get underneath and pop it up, kind of like what I did yesterday
with a base runner. But now bunt grounded on the right side. Westbrook collects, sends the throw to first just in time. Trevor Tripley almost legged out that bunt, but again advances to Wakeman in scoring position. A bit of small ball in a 2-0 game.
That was crazy. That 1-4 double play you turned yesterday. I mean, you had the bunt right into your glove, just turned to second. I mean, quick instincts. How did that come about?
You got to play chess on the mound. I mean, you're thinking of, obviously you don't overthink things, but you're thinking about that stuff. At least I am as a pitcher. Like, okay, if this happens, where am I going with this? So that way, when I get into a situation, it's just natural. Like I'm not overthinking it, not freaking out. So in that case, I knew if I could get him the pitcher to pop it up, I could go over to second as long as he was extended. Because a lot of batters, you'll notice, even like with our guys, they're extending their lead before the ball is to the plate. And so if you get a guy that's even a third of the way off, I can catch and throw back to the base before he can plant and try to get back. So you're always thinking of that stuff.
Hey, they just went with a mound visit. That was after the sack bunt. They went with the mound visit. You think it's a conversation about how to attack our lineup the third time through? What do you think's going on up there?
Typically it's just if he's been, he's had misses and stuff. Obviously, Parker getting walked and whatnot too. Like, just calming your pitcher down, telling him he's got this. Like, trust his stuff, trust the defense behind you. Like, sometimes there's some strategy behind it depending on who's up to the plate, but it's usually just trying to get you to reset and get back into the zone.
And he's got a rosin bag up there too. You ever use rosin?
I used it one time and I hated it. I mean, it's good, but for me, like, you sweat.
Becker swings at this one. It's a high fly ball headed for the fence in right field. On the warning track, the grab is made. Wakeman tags up and heads over to third. 2 down.
Sweat and rosin actually becomes sticky, and like
can't have that.
Some pitchers use it. Yeah, I've already been checked. I use it on my bat in Tucson, and then Sean checked me after, even though I wasn't using it on my hands or anything. But it's just a risk I'm not willing to take, and I feel like my stuff's good enough to beat a lot of guys anyway, so I don't feel like I need that extra advantage.
And so, like, even before, like, because it's really been the last couple of years we've seen leagues kind of cracking down it even more so. But like before that, were you one to use that?
Crack of the bat, high fly ball, and that's the end of this inning.
I've used sticky stuff in a bullpen just to see what it would do because we had Rapsodo, and I was curious on how much it would actually affect my stuff. But I feel like I'm not the same pitcher when I'm using sticky stuff. I don't have the control because it's all feel, obviously, off the fingertips. And when you have something that's even just a little thing that's interfering with it, it throws you off. It's the same on the mound. Like, there's a spot where you're landing. Like yesterday for me, I had lefty pitching and then I was landing. And then if I landed in the middle, it was like a little mound. And that little bit throws you off in terms of your mechanics. So try not to mess with anything that you've been building for years.
And back when you were at school, did you guys have stuff that showed spin rate? I don't know what that equipment is called, but did you have some high tech stuff back then?
Not really at Missouri Valley. We had a Rapsodo like my freshman year, but I mean, I threw like 82 my freshman year, and so, but I actually ended up spiking a changeup at it, and it hasn't worked since. So I think that one's kind of on me.
No way.
Yeah.
Dang, man, that's like a $5,000 deal, right?
Ooh,
yeah.
It better not be a you break it, you buy it type of thing.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't, thankfully. I mean, they didn't renew the subscription anyway, so
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be terrible for a college student.
yeah, that would be tough. That or taking away some scholarship money.
Hey, Ron, I'm handing off play-by-play to you, in case you were wondering. Thank you. Again, Wakeman out here has been dealing a little bit of a slow start. Was it about 40-something pitches through 2? Now at 84 with a shutout heading into the bottom of the 5th. And 7 strikeouts in the ball game. Has 9, 1, and 2 due up.
And that will start with Adam Purdy. So Purdy last time around singled. I wonder how just from your vantage point also, this is Wakeman's second time facing this batter. How do you think he adjusts here?
Obviously, it's just minimizing the misses. And in this case, he was ahead and just left a change. It was either a changeup or a slider. We were discussing that actually down there. It just caught a little too much of the white. So it's just executing the pitches and trusting your stuff.
As Purdy steps in, again, the Wind trailing 2-0 to the Alpine Cowboys here in this bottom of the 5th inning, where Parker Wakeman comes in with 84 pitches. Dietrich, what's your career high in pitches?
I think I was up to 140 in college.
Whew. Wow. Big swing and miss on a fastball, 0-1.
Threw against Grandview, and that game went to like 10 innings, and I went into the 10th.
Ooh.
So when you're starting to get up there, are you taking stuff off of your fastball?
Oh, yeah. Your arm's hanging at that point, but when you're competitive and want the ball, you find a way through it, and that's kind of how I am. I've always been that way. So I don't know. I've always felt like me at 70% is better than a lot of the hitters, and I believe I can beat them and basically go out there and go, hey, here's my best stuff. See what you can do.
Back in the day, that's how it always was.
That is true.
That's a guy was a wimp if he didn't go all night.
Wakeman's 0-2. High and away on the heater.
Probably going to go slider backdoor on this one.
Ooh. You would know better than me.
You think that tunneled it?
Yeah.
The fastball high and away?
High and away. He's going to go back foot slider here.
Here we go. The 1-2.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. And on the dirt, you were exactly right. He'll run it out the first anyway. Doesn't matter. 1 up, 1 down for the Cowboys in the bottom of the 5th.
That was sweet.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just doing his job.
We try and do that sometimes, man. Not always successful, but that was a good one right there.
And that's the righty Caleb Skoll entering the box for the Garden City Wind.
What's this song, Rowan? Because Parker is singing this one too.
Oh, this is Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, big Sabrina Carpenter guy.
So you said you're a big country guy, big EDM guy. Is there any music where you're just like, I can't get into that?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Really?
I listen to everything. There's only a few like new country artists that I listen to. I'm more of like Johnny Cash.
Yeah. Are you into Morgan Wallen?
I'll listen to a little bit of Morgan Wallen, Chance Beckham, Parker McCollum.
All right.
Those are the few guys that I'll listen to. Otherwise, I don't know. It's hard for me to get into it. It's a distinction between country and like the R&B or whatever that genre is called.
Have you ever had Bachburger back in Alpine?
No, I have not.
Well, in the comment section, Michelle's shouting out Bachburger. Said that we could come, they'll feed us.
Wow.
Maybe not the whole team, but
a little HBP there. Skoll takes it on the left elbow. He'll take a free pass to first with 1 out.
Yeah, now that we're live on YouTube, we got live chat and everything.
Cool. I had to go back to it and see what you guys were saying about the ejection.
Oh yeah.
I had to see. That's my first one in my life. I've never been ejected. I don't lose my cool like that.
I love it, man.
Yeah, the same thing happened to Josh Rago about a month ago, and he told the umpire, he said, 20 years, this is the first ejection.
Yeah, I actually texted him on that too. I was like, what do I do? Like, I was worried about it because I didn't know if I was going to get suspended or fined or how that worked.
That one was quick too. Was that one of the first for AJ? It probably was.
Yeah, AJ didn't even do anything wrong either. All Rago said to the umpire was, why is he getting ejected? And then gone.
And I don't want to get you in trouble, but are we frustrated with the umpires back in Alpine right now? We don't have to answer that.
I've got no comment on that.
Yeah.
I think they've had their good games and their bad games. And but I mean, we're all human at the end of the day, and I can understand a few mistakes here and there.
Yeah, and that's how it goes. I mean, again, everyone has good games, everyone has bad games. And that goes for even players on the mound, players in the box. I mean, it happens.
Exactly.
Goes for us in the booth. I think today's been a good day.
Hey, the good news though, we're talking about trying to end the 31 game hitting streak for Rooks.
It's the 0-2 misses high. This is Jacob Talamonte in the box, left-handed batter, and then it's Jason Rooks on deck for Garden City.
But Rooks won't have a lot of ABs if we keep them scoreless. So it'll be possible. I mean, maybe just 2 more ABs if we keep them.
Yeah, in the cleanup spot, he'll probably get at least 4.
Yeah.
It really just depends on us executing pitches.
Here's a 1-2 on the way to Talamonte. Wakeman looks down. Now he kicks and deals to Talamonte. Upstairs fastball 2-2. So Wakeman, more than likely in this bottom of the 5th inning, he is going to eclipse 100 pitches.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would say that. Is it bottom 5th or 6th?
Bottom of 5, yeah. The scoreboard is incorrect right now. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, the scoreboard's throwing me off. It threw me off yesterday too.
Yeah, it was throwing me off too. Because back in Alpine, we'll have a 0 at the top of the 5th when we're in the bottom of the 5th. But
Yeah.
here they don't do that.
Yeah, they just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's definitely different.
Hey, haven't you run the scoreboard?
Yeah, I've run the scoreboard. I try to help out with everything that I can, especially if I can't throw, the day after and whatnot, trying to do the little things.
Payoff. Fouled back off of the chest protector of Tuttle. Jacob Talamonte, the former St. Mary's Gale, will stay alive.
Hey, how do you feel about my shirt today?
I know where you got that too.
You did? Did you see
I
it?
saw it at Goodwill.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's terrible, right?
Yeah, I can't go for it.
I just
Thank
wore it because Rowan's a big Dodger guy.
Yeah, I can see that getting a little fire going between you two.
Yeah,
Man,
we need some of that.
I do like the American flag on it, though. It's like a good workout shirt.
It is
can
a really
respect
good
that.
workout shirt.
3-2,
Good.
big hack in the dirt. Wakeman gets some swinging and missing. With 2 gone, the runner on first in the bottom of the 5th. Cowboys lead 2-0. And now you go to Jason Rooks, the former Billings Mustang, also Lexington legend last year in the Atlantic League. Right-handed batter steps in.
9 strikeouts now for Parker.
So obviously you didn't play with Jason because that was midseason last season in the Pioneer League where he got called up to the Atlantic.
I think Sisto played with them.
Yes, Jake Sisto did. First pitch to the righty, misses downstairs 1-0.
What are the facilities like up in Billings? Is it cold up there in the summer? Probably not.
At night it gets a little colder. But we have hoodies, winter jackets, like we have everything that we could possibly need. All you got to do is ask.
Hey, in the scoreboard, the pitch count does go above 100. Look, it's 101 right now.
All right, so I guess it is accurate in that way. So Billings, like the temperature wise, like what's that like? It's not cold, not hot. Like what is it?
It's honestly it's nice. I mean, you have the humidity and stuff, and with the rain that comes through, and then when we first get there for spring training, you're getting rid of all the snow and everything else. So it's a little colder, but a lot of the stuff that we do is during the day, other than games at night. Monday through Saturday, Sunday's like a 1 o'clock game.
Wakeman's in a 1-2 count with 2 outs against Jason Rooks. The kick and deal. Misses downstairs. Tuttle throw to second. Just gets past the glove of the shortstop Rodriguez, trying to apply the tag that will end up going down as a stolen bag for the runner at first there. Going to second in Caleb Skoll.
You should go with a slider here.
You're thinking slider here. Are you going back door or?
No, I'm going slider extended. He pulls off pretty bad with this front side. I mean, he's a good hitter, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But that was what I was seeing yesterday.
Wakeman. 1-2 with 2 gone. On the way. Swing and a miss. Rooks is retired. 10 Ks on the day for Parker Wakeman heading into the top of the 6th inning where the Cowboys lead 2-0.
Hey, your biggest fan is in the chat.
Barry. Barry Young?
Yeah, it's got to be Barry Young.
Tell Barry I said, hey, I'm sure he can hear me.
Yeah. Hey, man. Rooks, though, hitless. We're through 5 innings. Let's get it done, man. Let's, I guess he'll still have 2 more ABs.
Yeah, he'll definitely have 2 more ABs.
Alpine.
Yes, man. We can do it, man. Westfield, do we want to send to a commercial break? It's been a minute.
At this point, the advertisers might not be happy with us. We'll be right back, folks. First pitch of the top of the 6th inning. James Prakash is retired on a 6-3 put out. The shortstop Caleb Scholl sending it over. 1 up, 1 down for the Wind in the top of the 6th. It's a 2-0 Cowboy lead. I'm Roen Elbert. Ryan Weyl, my analyst, and joining us, starting pitcher for the Alpine Cowboys, Dietrich Gertzken. How you doing, my friend?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Dietrich does have to leave us after this half inning, but hey, this is probably the longest you've ever been on the air. Are you enjoying it?
Oh, I'm always enjoying it. I enjoy being around you guys.
Oh,
Hopefully, I'm not sounding too bad.
Oh, no, you're sounding great. I mean, no complaints on our end. The fans are probably loving it. As Brandon Andrews is in the box, no 1 count. Westbrook kicks and deals. Takes it off for a strike outside edge. So from our vantage point, we're off to the right of home plate. Are you still able to tell what the pitch types are and all of that?
Yeah, I can tell. Typically, just by pitch shapes. Although I will say, curveballs and sliders are sometimes tough to tell because some curveballs have the same shape as, like that's a slider there.
Yeah, as Andrews swung and missed on an 0-2 count. So the Cowboys have 2 up, 2 down in the top of the 6th, a 2-0 lead. So for you, Dietrich, well, let's say you were the skipper here. What are you telling the guys maybe after this half inning? Let's say the Cowboys go scoreless here. How do the Cowboys hold on to this lead?
By playing Cowboy baseball. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have a job to do, and one guy can't do the job for every single guy here. So it's every person doing their job and executing 1 pitch at a time. And from there, the rest will take care of itself.
That's a strike on the inside to Aaron Izquierdo, a right-handed batter. I feel like you would make a really good skipper one day.
That's the goal one day whenever I'm done playing. But until then, trying to enjoy, the opportunity to play a kid's game.
As 0-1 misses low, and the way I love that mindset too. I mean, some pitchers, I know Berto, he has it written in his glove. It's just a game. It kind of helps calm him down. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, it is. I mean, at the end of the day, like we put a lot more pressure on ourselves than we probably should, but it's a game that we're blessed to be able to play every single day.
Another 6-3 put out on Aaron Izquierdo by the shortstop Skoll to send us into the bottom of the 6th. Dietrich, thank you so much for your time. Cowboys lead 2-0. Any last words to say to the people of Alpine?
Let's go Cowboys. Let's catch a dub. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to Alpine Cowboy Baseball. In the bottom of the 6th inning, it's a 2-0 Cowboy lead. Parker Wakeman, 103 pitches into his outing. He has looked great today. He looks to continue what has been a stellar performance for the Cowboys. 10 strikeouts, only 2 hits allowed. As for Garden City, it'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up, starting with Dominic Embody. Currently, me and Ryan are going through some post-Dietrich depression.
Yeah.
PDD, as Embody, the lefty, steps into the box against the righty Wakeman.
Also, thank you, James, for reminding me to do my sports report after the game. And thank you, Ronan's mom, for reminding us to update that scoreboard thing. I didn't realize it wasn't updating, but now it will.
Here we go. Right-handed batter, left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Parker Wakeman, he goes away on the first pitch, 1-0 to start us off. To the leadoff man, Dominic Enbody of Concordia University, a long-time member of the Garden City Wind since 2022. Wakeman, 1-0. Left side and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, and a 2-0 Cowboy lead. So Wakeman, more than likely, this might be his last inning. I mean, just knowing the pitch count and all of that. For the Cowboys bullpen, what do you anticipate just with their recent struggles?
I think it might be a Brad Burdett kind of day, but it'll be interesting to see if we go with him because, like you said, the recent struggles, I don't think anybody is unscathed as of late.
As that 1-1 misses downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike to a guy with a .522 on base percentage, that being the catcher, Dominic Enbody, an all-star for the Wind. 2-1. Breaking ball, swinging a drive, right side. Damon under it towards the warning track, and it's dropped by the center fielder Andrews as he came in for it. It was right on the track. Enbody gets the first to lead us off in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who was after it. But again, it ended up in the mitt of Andrews. He kind of tried to underhand it towards that fence in right center field and hit the deck.
I think that's all he could do, though, in that situation because he was not there when that ball was dropping. I think that's all he could do was go with that underhand. As now you go to Andrew Brotman. He has struck out and he has walked today. Now we have the entire Cowboys infield convening with Parker Wakeman so far, and looks like not. Yeah, it looks like what's going to be is no managers joining them. Just the infield talking with Parker Wakeman. What do you think they're talking about?
I don't know. He hit that ball awfully hard. Maybe it's an aspect of understanding the tying run of the ball game is going to be represented at the plate with everybody that steps in now with a runner at first. Just a 2-0 ball game and time to lock in, time to get in that flow state and really play some good baseball because we need this win on the road. And this just turned into a big spot, especially towards the tail end of Parker's day.
Yeah, especially exactly because we're just over a little bit over the halfway mark of this contest. The Cowboys have had a couple of guys in the last few outings that have proven to be really good relief options in the long relief setting. Those guys being Ronan Tachibana and Sebastian Barrios.
Armando Ceballo, too.
Yeah, speaking of Armando Ceballo, I think that's him warming up right now. He's on the mound. So Armando getting a quick warm-up in as it's righty on righty. Wakeman against Brotman with a runner on first. Deep breath and a delivery. Goes with a changeup and a strike bottom half. 0-1 to start off against Andrew Brotman, a .398 average on the season, 36 RBIs. He has been elite at the third base position. Here we go, 0-1. Big swing and a miss. 0-2 now. Brotman falling behind. With the runner on first, nobody out for the Wind. Bottom of the 6th inning, Cowboys lead 2-0. It's their first lead they've held over Garden City this entire series. It was a 2 spot in the top of the 3rd that got the Cowboys scoring going. Wakeman, 0-2, the kick and pitch. High and in, it misses. So far, 10 strikeouts for Parker Wakeman, the first Cowboy pitcher all season to eclipse the 10 mark.
110 pitches thrown by Parker, too.
Humberto Vela, I believe, has a season high with over 120.
Wow.
1-2. Swing and a miss. He will run it out to first, but there's a runner at first, so he has to stop on his way there. But Wakeman has his 11th K right there. 1 out and a runner on first. Man. And to think, I mean, just to think as well, as Rob Morris said, left-handed batter steps in the box. That just, I mean, not even in a complete 6 innings, he has 11 Ks right now.
Wow. Yeah, with Armando warming up 111 pitches, any sort of trouble will go to a change, I think.
Yes. As the first pitch goes in the dirt, John Tuttle able to block it up. It's a 1-0 count. The runner on first for Garden City with one gone, bottom of the sixth. Cowboys with a 2-0 lead. So far, the hit tally is even at 3. It has been the definition of a pitcher's duel that so far the Cowboys are out in front of. Wakeman, 1-0 delivery. He lets it rip. Fouled back behind him, 1-1, as we're now even up. Parker Wakeman facing Rob Morissetti, the former Roswell Invader. Kind of funny, considering that we play Roswell next after tomorrow's matchup, the series finale against Garden.
In our last road trip. Again, we don't, and unless we get it or go on the road in the playoffs, we're at home or at Pecos the rest of the year.
1-1, cracked left side. Becker under it, makes a grab for the second out. Big time out for Parker Wakeman and the Cowboys. Not terrible contact for Morissetti either, but Becker right there at the right place, right time in the middle of left field.
And I think that's a really underrated play by Becker. Based on where the sun is right now, I think the sun was right in his eyes. A line drive headed his way with the sun tucked right back behind us.
And this is very much like Santa Fe, where when the sun sets, it's coming right down on the field. Righty on righty, first pitch to Pierce Kahn, rips it up the middle. It bounces off of the lip in between the natural outfield and the turf infield. There's a little bit of a lip there. It bounced up like a ramp, went to center field. So a single with 2 outs for Pierce Kahn in the wind. Now you go to the pitcher spot. They do make a change, though, and they're going to Seth Christensen. Christensen, a two-way player, right-handed batter. So the Wind will be going to a change in the 7th inning.
Wow, going to a change whenever their starters only thrown 67. Again, we talk about them having a really stout bullpen, and this is the kind of time in a 2-0 ball game with a stout bullpen, you can throw in a pinch hitter in a big spot because you can trust your bullpen late in the game.
Yeah, Christensen, the former North Platte 80, also spent time last season with the Tucson Saguaros, but mostly with North Platte. North Platte right now on pace to have their first playoff berth in franchise history, but it's righty on righty to Christensen. Wakeman, he deals away. Swing and a miss that time, 0-1 with runners on first and second for the Wind. In this bottom of the 6th inning, Cowboys lead 2-0. Wakeman here with 2 outs, looking for a happy ending to what's been a great start today. Can he do it in an 0-1? Glances at second now, the pitch. Goes slider, hit up the middle. Tripoli, second baseman. He will step on the bag. Parker Wakeman gets out of the 6th inning scoreless. Top of the 7th coming your way. Alpine, a 2-0 lead when we return. Welcome back with Alpine Cowboy Baseball. We're in the top of the 7th inning. It's a 2-0 Alpine lead. I'm Roen Elbert. That's Ryan Weyl. And after 67 pitches, the Wind go to a new guy and they go to Tyler Cornett. Cornett so far this season a 3.37 ERA over 21 innings pitched. So far, the strikeout to walk ratio 29-21 in favor of the strikeouts. Cornett, a guy with a lot of experience in partner ball last season with the Gateway Grizzlies. Before that was with another team in the Frontier. Has spent time in the Pecos with the Tucson Saguaros. Which is, it's funny though, because his last outing against Tucson, he pitched 3 innings, kind of using him as a long relief off. He pitched 5 innings against Roswell early in the year, because last season in Gateway in the Frontier was a starting pitcher, which he really wasn't before, but they kind of made him into a starting pitcher.
Wow. Yeah, and like you mentioned, the that strikeout and walk ratio is good for him, but again, 21 innings, 21 walks about a batter per inning and gives up 15 hits as well. So with that 1.8-ish whip, well, hopefully we can do some damage. We need some insurance, man. It's 2-0. Doesn't feel safe here on the road.
Righty on righty. The first pitch to Hunter Damon that misses upstairs. So far today, Damon is 0 for 2. Yesterday went 2 for 2 with a walk and a sac fly. He was tremendous for the Cowboys. It ended up being a 9-2 loss, though, as the 1-0 fastball whistles by and misses high and in.
It looks pretty heavy out of his hand. Again, he's got kind of a sidearm delivery. Maybe 25 degrees.
You are right. 2-0, ripped right side and in. Hunter Damon with a leadoff single in the top of the 7th. Now you go to John Tuttle. He's 0 for 1 with a walk today, but Tuttle loves the big moments, as you saw on the 4th of July. Cowboys walked it off with Brandon Andrews, but I don't think we get to that point without John Tuttle and his 2-run shot with what would have been, I guess, the 7th inning in a normal 9-inning game. So in the 5th inning, Tuttle leaving the yard to make it a 6-4 ball game. It'll be righty on righty with Damon at first. Nobody out in the top of the 7th. First pitch fastball. Tuttle showed bunt. It's a strike that goes by him. The pitch from Tyler Cornett, 0-1.
And we definitely will pinch hit here for Parker.
He's got a bat in the gloves.
Well, we used Parker as a pinch hitter the other day, so I was proven wrong instantly.
Here we go. 0-1, the delivery to Tuttle. Bunt shown. It misses away. 1-1 the count, but also it could be a matter of, hey, the Cowboys don't have enough pinch hitting options. Maybe you want to save them for an 8th or 9th inning spot. But at the same time, also, it could be just, hey, Wakeman's going to pitch the 7th inning. That could be the deal. Usually that's the case, but you never know. 0-2 looks down to delivery. Misses low and in the Tuttle. It should actually be 2-1. Yeah, it's 2-1. The scoreboard has it as 1-2.
What did you just do there?
It's called My Bad.
Okay.
The My Bad signal. 2-1. Damon off and running. Tuttle rips it foul right side. 2-2 our count.
For $1.
$1.
Is that what he said?
He said you can foul balls to the concession stand for a $1 bill.
That's cool.
I mean, got 2 of them right here.
There's an autograph in Santa Fe. Whoa, man. Don't flex on him like that.
1-2. Tuttle is down on strikes. The breaking ball from Tyler Cantrell. That time around to get the first out here in the top of the 7th inning for the Wind. Now Parker Wakeman batting, the pitcher and 8-spot hitter for the Cowboys.
And we only have 2 position players on the lineup card, 2 options in Marco Martinez and Jake Sisto. So maybe saving those for later in the game.
Here we go. Righty on righty. The pitch from Cantrell. Low and in. That one, not the fastball. Like Gertzgen said, I mean, a lot of the time, these pitchers are kind of shying away from the fastball heavy approach when facing another pitcher.
Aikman is thrown 117, but I could see a world where we trot him back out in the 7th round.
Yeah. 1-0 and in it misses 2-0 count. I'm sure he wants to stay in too. When you've struck out 11 batters too, you want to continue the shutout as well. That's a big thing. 2-0. Trey at the kick and get back second base, or will he? That's the question. Slides in. What's the call? He is safe.
Yeah, it would have been easy, but again, it popped off that backstop right to the catcher. Was a close play at the tail end of it.
That's what scared me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I jinxed the guy. But Hunter Damon, he was ready to take off yesterday. That's to go down as a stolen bag. But still, I mean, he had an opportunity yesterday, but the batter in the box ended up being who was off and running, didn't get the bag. As the 3-0 misses low and away, Wakeman has been walked with 1 out. Runners on first and second for the Cowboys here in this top of the 7th inning, where they lead 2-0 over the Wind.
Nice to see weakness out of their bullpen right now, Ron. Again, we need to score.
Need is an understatement as Tripoli steps in the box. A 4-0-2 on base so far today. However, he is 0 for 2. He's reached by a fielder's choice. It's righty on righty. Tyler Cantrell looks back at second. Now the pitch. Again gets away from Enbot. Runners advance to second and third. Well on the outside. Man, Cantrell having issues right now with the location.
Set, yeah. Now the sac fly in play, too.
Yeah, that's big. With the speedy Hunter Damon over at third base. And then at second base, you have the pitcher in Parker Wakeman. The Cowboy bullpen, it was Armando Ceballos warming up. It's Kyle Dalton.
Yeah, and I like when Hunter runs, man. When Hunter runs, it looks like the ground is on fire.
It really does. Always puts 100% into it. 1-0. Tripoli, a fastball he takes for a strike, a 1-1 count. Here with 1 out, runners on second and third. In the top of the 7th for the Cowboys, they hold a 2-0 advantage over the Wind.
He's got a new bat. Got it from Dick's, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's the same color as his old one.
Yeah.
1-1, rips right side, gets through for a base hit. In comes Damon. Wakeman will stop at third. Cowboys make it 3-0, and our sing off of the bat of Trevor Tripoli.
Wow. Huge.
Yeah, to say the very least, run against this Garden City bullpen is a big one, and the sac fly still in play with Wakeman over at third base. Trips at first. Now you go to the top of the order with Sean Becker, the left fielder, who so far today is 1 for 3.
Hey, Barry just put in the chat that his pick for the next call-up is Sean Becker.
Yes, I did see that. Let's see if Becker can move him right here. In a righty-on-righty matchup, Cantrell fouls it off on the right side over the grandstand. Away. Incredible crowd here in Garden City, Kansas tonight. All of these fans filing in. Not a coconut crowd, but still, I mean, a lot more fans than yesterday, which yesterday was an afternoon game. Maybe that affected it.
And with Tripp off and running there, I think the hit and run may have been on.
Ooh, that could be the case. Was Wakeman?
No.
Oh, swing and a miss. Tripp going for second base. He will get there, and Wakeman will go to home as the throw went into center field. Tripoli will have third base. 4-0 Cowboys in the top of the 7th inning. How about that?
That doesn't look like a made by a 30-4 team, Rowan.
Exactly. You just don't see that every day from the Wind. The sac fly is in play again with Tripoli on third base. Gets a stolen bag, his 10th on the year. 0-2 now on Sean Becker. 3 from Tyler Cantrell. High and in at the letters to Becker, 1-2. Looking to dive in his hotel roommate at the, I almost said the hotel name. That would have been bad. Tripoli over at third base. He's 60 feet away from making it a 5-0 ball game. Cowboys lead 4-0 here. 1-2. Swinging a rip. Left side. It down for base hit. Tripoli will easily have home. Becker an RBI single. Cowboys ripping it wide open in the top of the 5-0 lead over the Wind.
Yeah. And I'm just letting you know, if you're a Wind fan, it's not the time to leave the ballpark trailing 5-0 against us. We are not comfortable right now up 5-0.
Oh, exactly. That's why all of these run huge. The Cowboys is now Easton Barnes. He will talk to Tyler Cantrell. He's not even looking Barnes' way. I feel like he kind of knows what's coming.
Yeah.
We can't see the Garden City bullpen, but now they took the ball from Cantrell. Who knows who they have going up there? I'm sure they had somebody warming up. We're going to take a quick break here in the top of the 7th inning. The Alpine Cowboys 5-0 lead over the Garden City Wind when we return. We are back at Alpine Cowboy baseball, top of the 7th inning, a 5-0 Alpine advantage, sparked by 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Just recently, an RBI single from Sean Becker. It was an RBI single from Trevor, then a stolen bag at second led to Parker Wakeman coming in to score at home on a bad throw from the catcher Enbody. But the wind after the pitcher out there and Tyler Contrell for Garden City couldn't get quite enough done, only 1 out. They go to Ritter Steinman, a guy yesterday, a 1.7 ERA on the season through 15 innings. Yesterday, pitched a 6th inning against the Cowboys, allowing a hit and striking out 1. Righty on righty R matchup. Right-handed batter Kyle Rodriguez steps in the box with the runner at first and Becker.
And again, this is one of their top options. Only the second time all year he's thrown in back-to-back days.
First pitch fastball misses low and away. That's what we mentioned in the pregame. These pitchers, they have that flexibility, but let's Steinman does going back-to-back days. It's a 1 count. Deals to Rodriguez. Stares him down, can pitch. He misses down.
Fine.
Even though, they're not in the same. Garden City knows miss for them, just how good Alpine is. 1-1. The offering from Stephen. Rodriguez strike on the bottom half, just on the borderline. Rodriguez steps out. It's 1-2 count with Becker on first, 1 out in the top of the 7th. Cowboys lead 5-0 over the Wind. No lead. 1-2. Rodriguez down on strikes. He swings and misses that pitch on the outside and away from low. So now with 2 outs, James Procish will step in the box for the Cowboys.
Yeah. And when we talk about that whip number, he's got about a 1.3 whip, 20 walks, 10 walk hits in 15 innings pitched.
Again, those are the numbers you want to see from a guy like Ritter Steinman out of Kansas West. And right on righty, first pitch to Procish. It's away. Enbody, a check in at first. Not in time. Becker slides in. Again, Dominic Enbody, despite the errors made today on his end, you can't deny one of the best catchers in this league. That's why he was an all-star for the 3rd time in his career. Coming up a week from yesterday in Garden City. Here we go. The 1-0 from Steinman to Procish. Looks down, lets it rip. Swings on it, hits it to center field, a blooper, it gets down. Becker at second, he wants third base, he will get it sliding in. James Procish, 2-out single in the top of the 7th.
Let's keep it going, man. A big guy to get this going against in a big bat in the order who is susceptible to go yard stepping in.
Brandon Andrews, and you are absolutely right with that statement. 5 home runs on the season. not even 75 at bats, and he's hit 5 home runs, a 307 average. But today, he's 0 for 3. He struck out on 3 pitches the last time around. Runners are on the corners with 2 outs. Righty on righty, the first pitch to Brandon Andrews. Fouls it back towards the catcher and end body. 0-1 to start off against Brandon Andrews in a big spot here. A 5-0 Cowboy lead over the Garden City Wind. The Wind now, oddly enough, kind of ironic, dead still.
Yeah, wow. Good point, Rowan.
Yeah, and then the sun setting as well. Beautiful day here in Kansas. I saw rain on the forecast yesterday. That was quickly changed, and I don't know if that's how it goes around here, but again, beautiful weather. 0-1. Andrews swings on it, hits it left center field. Another blooper. It gets down. Becker in to score. RBI single for the Cowboys, and Brandon Andrews, a 6-0 Alpine advantage. They have put up 4 runs in this 7th inning.
And Rowan, you talked about it yesterday. Andrews gets all of his big hits when you're doing play-by-play. He was 0-3 until an RBI single